introduce Tom Coleman. Tom would tell you his years at Washburn were the most important ones in forming his character and knowing he could overcome challenges. His friendships from Washburn have lasted his entire life. And he's going to talk about the team because he was on the team. He was the quarterback. Does the term touchdown Tom mean anything? Do you remember Coleman to Hart for 52 touchdowns? So Tom's going to tell us about the team, and the captain Frank is going to read the names and talk about guys. Yeah, you do right on there. So touchdown Tom Coleman is going to tell you about the state championship team. Bring him on, please. Bring him on.
Congratulations to all the teams tonight and that have been inducted into this Hall of Fame. And congratulations to the individuals from last night. 3 of them I went to high school with. So it's really special to come back to Washburn and be a part of the community again and just feel the love of Washburn and the support. This was an amazing time in our lives, and I want to begin by thanking our coaches. And those guys were legends. George Wiemeyer, who's in the Hall of Fame, had over 130 wins at Washburn. And as Dave was explaining, you know, the guys in the 60s, they went 60 games in a row without losing. And so when we were challenged, those are the guys we were really, they were our heroes growing up as we were in elementary school and junior high. And the 72 team won the state championship, and they were our guides. We watched how they did it. We watched what kind of people they were. And then the teams that were in front of us, the 76 team, Tom Mosley was the quarterback, and he was my mentor. Taught me so much about how to carry myself, the kind of person I wanted to be, and how to play. And so George was amazing, and we were never out-coached. Thanks so much, George Wiemeyer. George Lansing was our offense and defensive line coaches, and he made it cool to play the line. And he gave these guys a real attitude. And even though physically they sometimes were outmatched, they never were beaten. That's so impressive, you guys. And then our third coach was Mike Orman. He was our backfield coach for both offense and defense, and he was a player's coach. Loved Mike. And then we had a couple other coaches that I want to mention. LaRue Nelson and Bruce Turnbaugh. They coached the sophomore team, and they helped us greatly as well and supported us all along our journey. So, thank you. Yeah, and Archie Sutton was our defensive end coach. Archie actually played for the Vikings. And then he came and brought that swagger to us and taught us a whole lot about that. So we had great coaching, and that made a big difference. So I love these guys. We've all been close our whole lives, and it's been 47 years now. And the opportunity to play here at Washburn together really set the tone for a lot of our lives. The things we learned here at Washburn, the foundation that it gave us, that we could overcome any challenge, that we could be resilient, and that we kind of knew what it took to win. And we made those sacrifices to win. You know, we made them in the classroom, we made them on the practice field, we made them in the weight room. And so when you make those kind of sacrifices, you feel like you've earned the right to win. And we were never beaten. We weren't a dominant team like a lot of those George Wiemeyer teams were, but we never were beaten. We always overcame the challenges. So, you know, George did mention that we were his favorite team. We weren't his most dominant, but I just think it took his most amazing coaching job for us to be successful. And we just really appreciated that from him. We got to meet with George just a few years ago before his passing, and have some time with him again, and that was special. So let me tell you a couple things about why we won. Why did we win the state championship so many years ago? There were two things. One of them was that we cared, and the other one is that we believed. we cared a lot, and we cared about each other, and that was the big deal. We had a lot of close relationships on our team, and we took those relationships and we made the most of them. Our guys put out on the field, they never gave up, they never let up, no matter the situation, and that was so inspiring to all of us, and we just fed off of that one another. There's guys on this team that just tried no matter what, and that caught on, and we all kind of became that. One of the things that proves how much you care about something is how much you're willing to invest in it. And our guys left it all on the field. A story I have is after the Richfield game, which was a state playoff semifinal game, we won in overtime. And we were able to do that with a touchdown pass and getting on the, Coleman to Hart. But getting on that bus, Coach Wiemeyer pointed out to me, hey, take a look at this teammate that's sitting in the fetal position on the bus seat. And that was our captain, Dan Porter. And Dan he was the example. It was such great leadership that, he left it all on the field. And so we all felt the responsibility to do the same thing, and we did. And that's a big part of how to overcome challenges. These guys had great character, great team players. They cared about being good people, and they cared about academic success in the classroom. A lot of these guys went on to be at the top of their game in their professions. And here we are all these years later. It means so much to us now because we have such perspective. There's so many years that have gone by. Guys on this team were leaders in student government. They were on the yearbook staff, they were in student council, and they were in after-school clubs. So that second thing I wanted to mention is we believed. We believed in each other, and we believed we deserved to win. Many of us on the team, throughout our high school experience here, participated in an after-school club called Young Life. And what is Young Life? Well, it's a high school club that believes every kid in high school should have the opportunity to encounter Jesus Christ and decide for themselves what that means to them. Something that you'd want to pursue or whatever that would be. And we were able to take that journey together as classmates and as teammates, a lot of us. And we did it all through high school. We even had a Bible study weekly together. And it just drew us together. It created a spirit on the team that was unselfish. Well, one of our captains, Luke Vossen, who is part of the great Vossen family here at Washburn, where 9 of those kids graduated from Washburn. And Luke's older brother, Matt, was the captain the year before us. And Luke just recently passed away in March. And his wife and daughters are here, right over here. Let's give them all a hand. Luke was such an important person in our lives. He had such a spirit about him. And he loved Young Life. And about our 6th game of our season, we were undefeated. But, we weren't dominant, like I said. And nobody had the idea that we were going to go win the state championship. But in the 6th game, Luke got hurt, and he got hurt severely. And he hurt his neck severely, where it took him out of all the sports the rest of his senior year. About a week later, he came back to the team with a big old neck brace on. Well, we were hurting for him, and we thought Luke would just kind of mope around practice, like we would, feeling sorry for ourselves that our season was over and our career at Washburn was over. But instead of doing that, Luke did the opposite. And he came and he challenged us. And he believed in us. And he became another coach. And the light that guy brought into that locker room, that unselfishness, it just made an impact on all of us. And we met yesterday as a team, and we've had reunions over the years, and we all agree that that was a special sauce that really allowed us to excel and go on a run for the ages. So we got into the Twin City game against St. Thomas, and they came to the field down at the old Parade Stadium with 100 guys on the sideline, we had maybe 30, and about, maybe 7 of those guys were injured. So we beat them 26-7. And the next game, we played against Richfield, who at that time was the largest high school in the state, our arch rivals. And they had a quarterback that had started for 3 years. They were heavily favored, but we beat them in overtime, 13-10. And then the last game, the state championship, we played the perennial powerhouse Stillwater. They hadn't been shut out in 5 years. And these guys, this defense, which was the identity of our team, shut them out, 13-0. So on our way back on the buses from Parade Stadium downtown by the old Guthrie, we came here out into the back parking lot, and we parked, and there was a sea of people out there that had come to welcome us back. And the sea parted, and we were able to get off the bus, and one by one of us going into the locker room, and somebody handed me a giant bottle of champagne. And I went into Coach Wiemeyer's office, and I handed it to him, and he was like, "What?" But it was an incredible memory, and it's something that we've shared, and it's so special to have a championship. And to do that together in high school, it's such a once-in-a-lifetime experience that we just value it so much. It's so wonderful that we were able to do that here at Washburn, in our home community, with our home team, in front of our friends, and it was just a wonderful experience. Yep. So, tomorrow at Baird's Plaisance, which is on Upton, I would love to have the classes of 78, 79 come and join us, 11 to 3 o'clock, and come and say hi, and we'd love to see you. So, thank you, Washburn. We love you. Thank you for the foundation that voted us into this. A lifetime honor. We certainly appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Tom. Touchdown, Tommy Coleman. Now, men, when you hear Frank say your name, come on up, and you're going to get a plaque, certificate that you're in the Hall of Fame. Very nice gold stamp on there, embossed gold stamp, real gold. And then you get a hat. You get the famous Hall of Fame hat. Okay, so Frank is going to mention names. When you hear your name, come on up and grab your certificate.
Hey, first of all, can I say something real
Yes.
quick about
Yeah,
the
you
field?
can.
All of his guys from the 77 team. This is Macquarie Stadium now,
Yes.
with the lights and the artificial grass, which is beautiful. Back in 1977, we didn't have lights. We didn't even have grass on the field. We had just dirt, correct, gentlemen? Yeah, that was it. But this was our field, and it was cool. And it's kind of like moving back home to see your childhood home and have somebody
Remodeled.
refurbish it. Yeah, and it looks really nice. Why couldn't they have done that? And by the way, Dave, why did I have to follow Tom Coleman, the quarterback?
Would you have rather given the message?
No. Okay. And Adewilder Washburn.
I picked the right guy.
Adewilder Washburn.
Yeah.
I think I had him. I think I had him in social studies in
Oh, yeah.
1865.
So now, when you hear your name, come on up and grab your certificate. Frank's going to read the name, say something. Go for it.
I'm going to begin with a team co-captain who was named earlier, Dan Porter, two-way starter for 2 seasons. Danny Porter on the line, both sides of the ball. Teams were afraid of this guy. Huge part of our team. All Metro and played college football too.
Try to stand over there.
Now we're all stater in 3 sports. One of the best athletes to ever play at Washburn High School, Dave Hart. Receiver, defensive back, kicker, the guy who made catches, I still can't believe. Some of them were in practice, and some of them were at Parade Stadium. It was incredible. Wow. He was one of the best athletes to play here. Carl Frickman is next. Carl was a 2-way starter, later went on to Stanford and Harvard University. Listen, I should tell you a lot. It was a huge part of our team. He outplayed and outthought people. On the line, Carl Frickman, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Next, oh dear God, is Charlie Vroman. He played 3 sports, tough as nails, two-way football starter. Was always there when we needed him. Always caused trouble for the other team, sometimes for us. Welcome, Charlie Vroman. Quick side note, Charlie and I went to Mankato State our freshman year. And we hung out, and I can't share any of the stories that took place at Mankato State, but Charlie, the governor called. We're welcome back now in the city of Mankato. The lifetime ban has been lifted. We move on with another two-way starter, Dave King. Dave played center, played linebacker.
How many Kings went to Washburn High School, Dave?
Oh,
How many Kings went to Washburn?
8 Kings. This guy was the most tenacious football player, I think, on our team. Welcome, Dave. Dave made the hardest hit I've ever seen on a football field in the Twin Cities championship game. We won't get into that, but it was a clean hit, as far as you know.
We're still looking at the film, Frank.
Now, yeah, the lawsuit is pending, but no, it was a clean hit. It was a great hit. Now, let me honor Dave Dornfeld. Dorning! This is a great all-around athlete. This guy's done triathlon. Played with him as far back as 9th grade football. Wonderful player, Mr. Dependable, defensive back. Picked off many passes. Welcome, Dave Dornfeld. Dave told me just a little bit ago that he's going to maybe do a marathon. How many miles is that? 26 miles. We get tired driving 26 miles. Dave's going to run twice. Next is Rick Roth, another guy who accelerated in several sports for the Millers. No, this guy was so tough. He suffered a neck injury early in the senior season. He came back. We missed him. And when he came back, the last about 7 or 8 games, this guy played lights out. He made some incredible tackles. Welcome, Rick Roth. Our next player is Steve Moffitt. Steve, a very sneaky good athlete. Very talented. Football, baseball, hockey. Was our class president. The funniest guy I think I've met at Washburn High School. He was also, he was our class president. If you know Steve at all, he can crack a joke. He kept things light. See, I was nice to you. Was that? $50. Up next is Brad Yates. I played several sports with Brad at Penny Park. Tough kid. He took no guff from anybody.
Defensive tackle.
Yeah, this dude was tough. He took no guff from a player or from a referee. Trust me. Came to practice ready to play. Welcome, Brad Yates. Another huge contributor on both sides of the line, Rodney Hand. And the dude. Rodney was an immovable object. Tough, funny, and always entertaining, by the way. I have to say. Always played great football. Welcome to the club, Rodney King. Next is Dwayne Anderson. Running back, the toughest running back I ever played against personally. That was in 9th grade. I chased this guy up and down the field for 60 minutes, and I'm still tired. He was a powerful runner, nicknamed Dwayne the Train. I heard him go down the sideline, so that was a good nickname. All right, on to some juniors. Bud Schulte was one heck of an athlete. Receiver, running back, defensive back. And certainly as a senior, I know he ran all over everybody, was a team co-captain that next year, and still married to his high school sweetheart, correct? Yeah, a Washburn. Up next, Ron Lutz. Ron started on our offensive line as a junior. And that was not an easy thing to do. Tough to move, very smart. Huge contributions. Went on to play some college ball at Gustavus Adolphus. Welcome, Ron Lutz. Robert Jones, the best dressed guy tonight for sure. Big contributor to a team as a junior. This guy had great hands, wonderful catches, defensive back as well. Robert Jones, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Next is John Longman. He grew up in my area by Kenny Park. Played center, defensive tackle. I will say this, he made some tackles against Edison and Roosevelt. He shot some gaps against the advice of George Weimar, which takes a lot of guts. Dude, that took a lot. And if you've seen him flexing on Facebook, sun's out, guns out. He's still in shape. Next is Tim Lung. Guard on offense, linebacker on defense, just as tough as his cousin. Solid player, wrestled obviously at Washburn. We had to ride the bus together as I think if we hadn't ridden together, we might not have won the state championship. We always had to have the same seats. Next is Bobby Yates, brother of Brad Yates, just a year behind him at Washburn. Tough kid. This guy was tough, incredibly large heart, defensive back, played hockey. I've seen this guy do some checks down at Kenny Park. It was not pretty. He was good. Next is Mike Ronsack. He grew up by me, very close to me by Kenny Park. Was a junior when we won state, offensive tackle, helping set the standard at Washburn High School. He had a very nice senior season as well, and married a Washburn girl. That is correct. Okay, time for John Brown. He played quarterback. As I mentioned earlier, being a quarterback is not easy at Washburn High School. And being one at Washburn High School was totally different. He had a live arm. What was your nickname? Downtown Johnny Brown? Never saw a deep pass he didn't like. Welcome to the Hall, John. Brian Mahachek, another guy from the Kenny Park area. Tight end, defensive end, stuck his nose in there, got it dirty. They said many times tonight, tough kid, welcome. Then there's Kevin Cannon, played some fullback. I remember him as an extremely good nose guard. Tough to move around, recovered a very big fumble in the Twin Cities championship game. Welcome, Kevin. Kevin Sample, running back, linebacker. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. And what about Lad Mays? Lad Mays. This guy had hands like boom. I mean, this dude never dropped the pass. So congratulations, Lad. We had great receivers. Lad was
Lad Mays still with the Vikings.
There you go. And I think that's it. We're introducing Colleen Boston. As Tom mentioned, Luke passed away just recently. They married. How many years were you married?
46.
46 years. And you guys were sweethearts in high school. 10th grade. I think didn't Tom set you up? Drove them on their first date. Wow.
Tom drove them.
We welcome you and Luke to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for the 1977 Minnesota State High School football champions. All right, yeah, I get on the feet. Okay,